Welcome back to the channel. Today we're talking about Arcana cards and how to upgrade them and what you should be upgrading from the start of the game first to be able to just make your game a little bit easier so you can have fun and learn all the mechanics and stuff. So this is your Arcana table. As you can see, there are a whole bunch of cards with different amounts of energy. When you equip them, the energy adds on to your total energy, which is in the top right over here, which can be upgraded with Psyche. Now, Psyche you get from just general gameplay where you get it on doors and you can go in and get a few. There's different ways to get in it, and I don't need to show you that, but Psyche upgrades the amount of cards that you can hold, and then the cards have different energy amounts. So if I remove this one here, set forth each night with 1 Death Defiance, you can see that my total energy goes down by 4, which could allow me to put other cards in and such things like that. Now, these cards come at a very base level, but what you can do is upgrade them using Moondust. So if I go into the upgrade menu here, you can see I have 6 Moondust, and all the ones with the blue arrows pointing up tells me that I can activate and upgrade on all of those cards. Some of them have different materials, like the G-Rock here. You get that from mining. It's not very difficult to find. And this one here has a flower. I'm assuming that some of these bigger ones will also need another material on top of it, but the majority of them, well, actually all of them need Moondust. The majority of them are just Moondust on their own, and you can see that it will increase certain aspects of the boon, and we're going to talk about which ones are best so far. But if I wanted to use 1 Moondust here, I could get that up to your sprint is 25% faster. Not that important, but it can be done. So let's talk about Moondust and how you get it. So over in the incantations cauldron, you can get access to these recipes, which you'll get just generally through playing the game. You got shadow extraction, which you're going to need to be able to use with a cinder to brew 5 Moondust. Very, very efficient way of doing it. If you're getting past the first level quite often, this is going to be your main source of Moondust because it's easier than most things. The shadow extraction, you can get all of these materials from the broker, and you can also just find them in the overworld as well. So Ash and Psyche, you're going to get a lot of constantly. Fabric, I haven't seen a specific way to get it other than outside of Arcana providing it for you with an outfit, and the broker. So the broker needs bones to buy them. So if you go into your cauldron, you will find pretty early on that you can add to your game that you can get bones fairly easy. Cause a random main weapon each night to grave first, granting bones after every location. So I think it's 2 bones after every location, using whatever weapon has that buff, and I'll show you that in a second too. But the bones that you get can then be traded with the broker for Fate Fabric or Moondust itself if you want to. That's another way of getting Moondust. But if you wanted to, use all your materials and you don't have enough bones to kind of do everything, Fate Fabric, Psyche, Ashes are all here. Or you can just buy the Moondust yourself for 1. But it's going to cost 80 bones to get 1. But if you get the Fate Fabric and the Psyche and the Ashes naturally, and you don't want to spend your bones specifically on Moondust, you'll just be able to make Moondust. There's other things you can buy too. Like I always buy the nectar and the bath salts when I have enough of my bones. Up to you what you want to do. You can also sell stuff here. We got flowers and also fish. So if you catch fish, you can sell them here for extra bones, which means you've got a nice cycle of materials, including Moondust itself, through the broker. Now, with the incantations, you can also get 3 Moondust from 1 Stardust. Now, Stardusts are rare. I believe, I'm not entirely sure, so don't quote me on this, but I think you can get a flower or a plant of some kind that may turn into the Stardust, but for me so far, this is the only way to get Stardust that I have seen. You get this again from adding it to your incantation, and basically it's a trial. You go through whatever it tells you to go through with a specific weapon and a specific set of boons. So like this one here, I get to use the Sister Blades with Poseidon. Quite easy in my opinion, and you will get 1 Stardust reward, which then you can turn into Moondust. And the weapon that has the bone buff is always showcased in this way with like the black goopy goops coming around it. You equip it, you use it, you'll get loads of bones. The only other way to get like a consistent Moondust is to go to Charon's kind of like ordering system. You get these little tickets from Charon, and I believe it's when you spend a certain amount over runs, or just randomly from Charon when you're buying stuff. I haven't seen a correlation, But if you get 4 tickets, which isn't as difficult as you think it might be, you can order 8 Moondust, which is awesome, but it does take a while to be delivered. It's 80 minutes of in-game time while you're in the levels running around attacking things. It won't count down if you're not actually in a run. And yeah, so all that Moondust then can be used to upgrade cards. So we're going to go through the cards that I have and talk about them each. I think the Sorceress, while you channel your Omega moves, everything moves slower. I don't really think you need to upgrade this off the bat. Not at all. It costs too much Moondust, 3 Moondust, not worth it in my opinion. Most of them charge within those 3 seconds of slowdown anyway. Ignore this card, do not upgrade it at the start. I think this one here, the Wayward Son, is very, very important. After you exit a location, restore 4 health or twice that if you have no more than 30%. Now, I've upgraded this to the max, which means that I'm getting a constant source of healing, even if it's only a little bit. The Huntress also is a thing you could think about upgrading. Maybe not right at the start, but definitely after you've got your health buffs and that out of the way, because while you have less than 100% of your energy, if you're doing those Omega moves, your attacks and specials will do way, way more damage. So definitely something to look forward to after you've got your like health and survivability out of the way. Again, Omega moves, critical damage, not really that important at the start of the game. And also as well, your chance to dodge. Now this could be something that you would want to invest time into. I do believe it costs quite a bit of Moondust for just a small little percentage increase. So I think I've done this once upgraded, but you know, it's something that it's up to you whether or not you want to do that. However, the card actually costs 0 energy. So once you've got the awakening, you know, there's different things that you need to do on the board to be able to get these cards activated. It doesn't cost you any energy. So it might be something worth looking into. The Furies, you know, you get to do more damage to foes that are in your cast. I feel like the 20% buff from the start is definitely just good enough anyway. I don't think a 5% increase is worth it. However, it does only cost 2 Moondust, so it might be something you want to put at least 1 level into. The Titan, in my opinion, is the one you want to focus on the most. Now, it's a little bit more difficult to upgrade than the others because you need bronze. Bronze you get from using your pickaxe in the overworld when you see bronze deposits and statues made of bronze that you can get materials from. But if you can get this up, you are going to just improve the amount of health and magic you have in general from the start of a run, which means that you're more likely going to survive longer and not take as, you know, even though you might take the same amount of hits, you'll have a little bit more health than usual. The Unseen, restored 2 to 3 energy per 1 second. Maybe, this is a maybe for me. There are a lot of boons that are given to you that, you know, can help you with your magic regeneration. And if you just have this card equipped anyway, you're getting 2 every 1 second. You really don't need that buff of 3 for 3 Moondust when it's only a 1 increase. In my opinion, not worth it from the start of the game. This one here, your Hex also charges up automatically as though you've used energy every 1 second. I don't think this is important because I don't often use hexes myself. However, there is one hex specific where you can heal yourself where this is actually worth it. But from the start of the game, I don't think you need it. This, very useful in Guardian encounters. Those are the bosses of the levels. You'll take 0 damage on your first hit if you upgrade this, 2 and I'm assuming 3 on top of that. Definitely worth looking into. However, I think health and death defiance is definitely more apparent for upgrading. Sprint, forget it, you don't need it. Eternity, now this is the one I'm working towards, and I'm actually just going to upgrade that right now. And it says now that I have 2 death defiances, which means I can die twice. However, that means that if I get down to the Kronos fight and I also have the accessory from the Skelimus, I will have 3 death defiances. And if I upgrade this again, I'll have potentially 4. Next time it's going to take Stardust and Moondust. Going to be a little bit of a while until I upgrade this again. So I definitely think at least getting this up to 2 death defiances, definitely worth it. This and the Titan health one are the first 2 you want to upgrade. The Centaur is also a very good thing to actually upgrade because after every 5 locations, every 5 rooms basically, you will gain an increase to your mana and your health by +4, +5, whatever you want to upgrade it to. So this is the next one I'm going to be looking to upgrade because not only then do I start with more health and have death defiance so I can last longer and have another set of health, sorry. I'll also get more health and mana as I'm going through, as well as the buffs that I'm going to get from the boons and the doors. Your cast has extra power when it detonates. I'm sure there are some good boons that could really help this out. However, I just don't think it's worth upgrading. I don't even think it's worth actually putting onto your cards anyway, in my opinion. This, again, probably something for a little bit of later game, tied into your damage. I feel like there's a lot of other things that you can equip for 4 and 5 energy that are better than this, but if you wanted to just go in and blast up and do so much damage to Kronos, this is probably your way forward. However, again, Death Defiance, health, survivability first, in my opinion. So all of these ones, the Fates, the Seer, and the Champions, are all about changing your rewards and your locations and stuff like that. Again, don't think it's necessary at the start of the game. However, I do take one location reward change for me because I like to get specific boons and specific gods, and I just take the risk when I see something I don't want, like a set of Ash. I try and change it into something that I do want. However, not that necessary in my opinion. However, you know, upgrading this is going to be useful probably mid game to late game, because then you obviously be able to keep changing and get the builds that you want to be able to fight bosses and beat Kronos. The Boatman, set forth each night with 200 coins, 250 coins, depending on how much you upgrade it. Don't think it's that necessary, but it can help you getting more boons every time you get to Charon, because you'll have that money there ready to go. I haven't ever used this card, but I can imagine that it's really, really, really good. Deal more damage to foes afflicted with at least 2 curse effects. Now, I feel that's pretty easy to attach to enemies, and I feel like this would be a great card. Again, survivability, health first. This is going to be something that I look at very, very soon. So these 3 here are all about improving your boons, chances of getting epic, rare, and duos wherever possible. Wait a little while till you're in the game and you're just getting everything else sorted out first. These will be great later on. Not that important right now. We have the Artificer, I'm not sure. Set forth each night with 1 chance to turn any minor finds into a major find. So if you get something to drop like 5 Ash or something, like in that 3rd level where you're running around, that could be more. Not worth it in my opinion right now. And then last but not least, after you vanquish a Guardian, activate 3 random inactive Arcana cards. So these cards here that you don't have equipped, when you defeat a guard of any level, you will get 3 of these activated. So if you get down to Kronos, you pretty much get most of these activated. Fun card. Don't need it right now, but it's definitely going to be something that's going to make the game very interesting and fun. So definitely worth looking into. But the first ones you want to be upgrading are the Centaur, Eternity, and the Titan. Get that health up, get that survivability up, get extra levels, extra lives, let's say, and more health every time you are going 5 locations. Also the Wayward Son. But to make a real impact, these are the 3 that you want to be looking at upgrading first. And if you want that extra Death Defiance, the Skellimus who's standing here, usually, I don't know where he's gone, you can gift him a nectar and he will give you access to this boon here, the Luckier Tooth. After you fall to 0 hearts, automatically restores 76 once this night. So it's basically an extra Death Defiance, but I think it gives you a little bit less health back than Death Defiance does. So with the upgrade that I've done and this, I now have 3 Death Defiances, which if I lose this on level 2, I can then change later on to something like the Ghost Onion to be able to get my health back. That's going to be talked about in another video. But I feel like, you know, it's your choice on what you want to do, but I feel like the survivability, health, and all of that kind of stuff that I've spoken about are definitely the ones you need to upgrade first. But let me know what you think down below in the comments section. That's it. Thank you for watching. I've been easynow. You guys have been awesome.